British weather's like. black was Savill, wasn't it?
Eh?
Your black was Savill. I'm not my fan. I'm not him.
Yeah.
When I said that, oh, black fan.
And it's funny.
I've got that as a meaning.
I kept thinking, why haven't I seen him?
Yeah.
Well, you know why you haven't seen him, Warren? It's the same reason why people don't get connections with somebody until they're ready.
Yeah. I just literally turned around and I was like, oh.
You're not
And
in
it's like,
person.
okay.
Yeah. But I did meditation. I was going on a voyage, going somewhere and meeting up with people. And they were both there, and it was really amazing. But there was a joy, and I felt good. I'm ready.
We once avoided the front.
It's all right. Carry on talking.
We've got 5 minutes.
We just sat down because we're all tired.
We had a long day.
Yeah. Come on, keep talking. Come on. It's all about being together.
I think it was because both of us were in a very tired state. I think actually that was just horrible for me. Really did.
Something else.
And then it starts changing to different colours. It's normal, you then pop out your nostril and then do that with it. Go, oh, that's Mine's in poor people's end.
Thank you. All right. Downloaded the hymn music and it's
computer in the front room.
Oh, okay. See you later. It's all right. Ian will come on. I know. You know, you volunteered.
Yeah. It's a very persuasive way of stating it.
There was something I was going to say, but it's Sunday and it's a platform. Good. Oh,
Ready? Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
You can do better than that. Come on, we need all your love and energy today. Good morning.
Good morning.
Wonderful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Always such a joy to see everybody here, the community, the essence of this church, where we are all friends. Whether we've met them yet or not, it matters not. We've got that wonderful buzz. So wonderful to be here today with you all, and I don't know why I'm saying that because I'm here every week with you all. This is the way today's going to go. Great.
Is it just a miracle to be here today?
It's a miracle to be vertical. Great delight, as always, to welcome our very good friend Mark Stone. Today we'll be working together. Most of you know yesterday we had a wonderful trip out to Stansted Hall. Absolutely beautiful day, the weather, everything just worked. It was great. It is a very long day, and we are human. So today we're just going to support each other and see what happens. Enjoy the service. If you've got any questions, if it's your first time with us, you want to know more, or anything in the service, please ask afterwards. Yeah? Nobody got anywhere without asking questions, seriously. And as I always say, this is not a show. This is not an act where you sit there passively. You are already engaged by the spirit world. Already your energies are combining here. Already your very presence is opening the door to those that we love to step forward. So we love it because we don't have to do a lot. We just work with what you brought. So make that full of joy, full of love, and full of upliftment. Thank you. Mark, sir, if I could invite you to the opening prayer.
Certainly. Everybody, if we could just close our eyes, but open our hearts and minds in prayer. Gracious and divine Spirit, as we join together for this morning's service, let us step aside from daily life and enter into the peace, the stillness, and the healing power of this place. Allow our hearts to swell with the love not only of the spirit world, but of the love of each other and the support and kindness and compassion towards each other. Allow us in this time not only to be those who receive healing and communication and inspiration, but allow us also to be the channels for it in this world, to become the instrument of the other world, to send out healing and positive thoughts of love and upliftment to every part of this world, to touch every heart and mind, to uplift the soul of many millions of people at this time. Let us be a source as well as the channel. Let our love and our nature reach out into the world. Let our spirit make a difference. And as always, we place ourselves and our service into the hands of the other world and to that great and divine spirit, knowing that all that is said and done, as always, is said and done in that truth, love and light of spirit, knowing that the other world have all things in hand. Understand why we are here, understand what we are going through in life, and love us and support us unconditionally. So as always, we place ourselves and our service in your care and keeping. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Mark. Beautiful. And now, if you care to, please join in with saying the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, Thine will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And leave us not when in temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, for ever and ever. Amen. Thank you. Let me now shift our energies, our thoughts, our intent over to the art of healing. And as always, everybody gathered here today, everybody joining us virtually, you are the healers. Don't let anybody ever tell you any different. You may not have a piece of paper. You may not have a long history. You can all express love. And when we express love, healing follows. So during this time, accompanied by meditative music, we invite you to send out those thoughts wherever you are drawn. Never forget to ask for yourselves. Who cares for the carer is often the case. So just send out that thought, send out that love, and know and understand. Healing follows. We also invite you during this time, if there's anybody in particular you would like mentioned, please just raise your hand. And when I point to you, simply call out their name. The intelligence of the other world will act accordingly. So enjoy this time of peace, of contemplation, but above all, of healing. Thank you. Divine and infinite Spirit, God of our own understanding, we thank you for this time and this reminder that we are healers one and all, able to share freely that love, that compassion, and that tenderness towards our fellow man. Amen. Now I'd like to invite Mark to share the reading, and Mark will have then a demonstration of philosophical mediumship, and apparently so will I.
Indeed.
So that'll be fun, won't it?
We're doing everything 50-50s today. It's fabulous.
Don't include your feet.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I've just got a short piece that I'd like to read for you this morning. Many of you will know this piece, I'm sure. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be gorgeous, talented and fabulous? In fact, who are you not to be? You are a child of God, and your playing small doesn't benefit the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking away so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. And it's not just within some of us, it's within everyone. As we let our light shine, we unconsciously give other people the permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. And it's those last few lines that I want to focus on with you this morning about the power and the presence that you bring into this world, into this place. You see, we always talk about the power of the Spirit. When we went to Stansted Hall yesterday, it's a place of great history, and everyone thinks that the power in that building is about the discarnate world. When people walk into churches and talk about the atmosphere in a church, they often remark on the power of the other world being present. But actually, we often forget the immense power of the presence of the living. The power that you bring into an environment when you enter it. As Lawrence said in that moment of introduction, already the power as you sit here, your power, your energy, your thoughts are reaching out and touching each other, whether you are conscious of it or not. The power of the other world is drawing close because of you, not because of them, but because of your presence here. And that power that we have reaches out like a web throughout this world, that every living being is interconnected through this web of life. And that you play your part in the entirety of it all. And often you see people don't consider the power of the Spirit living. We talk about atmospheres, we talk about energy, but we often don't pay as much attention to it as we should. When you walk into a room, when you walk into a place, you transform that power for better or for worse. And you know this is true because some people will walk in a room and you go, oh, hey up, she's on one. Avoid, move, don't talk to them. And then other people walk in and they light the room up. And you feel the lift when they come in. So what is it? Are you mindful of your energy and your power? Are you mindful of what you bring to each conversation, to each place? Even if there was one of you here or one of you online at home that was not a part of this moment, it would feel different. Because as we join together, that power builds. This is where part of our movement, the home circle, where people would sit and blend together with no desire other than to build this beautiful power and to see what may come. And out of it blossomed a lot of our movement of spiritualism. And yet today, people forget the importance of their presence, the importance of their power in everyday life. People think about mediumship as healing only belonging in a church, maybe, or in the circle once a week. But it's actually present in everyday life. Wherever you go, whoever you talk to, you are communicating with the spirit world. You're communicating with another spirit in the body. So often in our movement, people are desperate to talk to the dead, and yet they won't talk to the living. They walk past people and ignore them rather than, hello, how are you? To recognize and acknowledge the soul within another person. In India, there's the greeting Namaste, which is the spirit in me sees and acknowledges the spirit in you. And that power to recognize the spirit within, not just to think about the deceased, but to see within each and every person that there is a spirit in that body. That no matter where that person is, no matter what they're doing in their life, whether you like them or not, there is a spirit that is here to learn life just as you. To realize that wherever you are, that power that you bring, those thoughts that you bring, those emotions that you bring, and the words that you say as a result, transform the energy of that place. So what is it you are going to take to other people? When you have an interaction with someone, how are you going to leave that conversation and that person? Are they going to be uplifted and strengthened and supported? Or are you going to go away leaving a person depleted and unhappy by the interaction that you've had? Because just as we have that power to heal, we have that power to bring low. And so every interaction depends on how we go into it. That state of mind, that state of desire to be of service, to be of support, to bring, to uplift, to serve. How many times do you see a friend and you decide to have a cup of tea, cup of coffee and set the world to rights, and although you might have a good moan, you also have a jolly good laugh. And you go away feeling so uplifted and so high because you've come together and your energy has built a power that has lifted you both. You have that power within every transaction in life. Don't necessarily sit saying, well, they're the problem. Maybe you're the solution. Maybe what you can bring in your time, in your conversation, or even holding a space for someone, you might not even have to speak. But you bring a power to a place that changes it. You bring a power to another person that can help them transform themselves. You can't always do it for them. When you worry about someone, you can't change them. All you can do is hold a loving space for them, hoping that they will find their solution. You may worry about people and think, oh, I so want to step in. And you try stepping in, and you might not be thanked for it. You might know the answer, and you might say, I know exactly what you need to do. And then the comment comes back, who asked you? Stop interfering, stop meddling. Because they've got to learn maybe for themselves, just as we maybe had to. If we can acknowledge that everyone on this path is interconnected, nobody that comes into your life is by accident. No situation that occurs does not have potential for learning and for growth, and a potential for meaning. So let us look that we are not just the unique and wonderful separate soul, but we are part of a stupendous whole. That all of this world is a part of us. That all of this spirit world and this divine power is within us. And let us start to learn not only to talk here to the other world, but to truly start sharing that power within every experience of daily life. To transform lives by the kindness and the compassion that not only serves as the invitation for people to come and find out, but we lead by example, not just by words. So I'll leave those thoughts with you. Lawrence.
That was wonderful, Martin. That's exactly what I was going to say. So. But it's so interesting. You know, we tell ourselves, oh, Spirit will do this for me. Spirit will do that for me. Spirit will control this for me. Why are we so eager to give away that power? Why are we so eager to give away our very essence to other people, to organisations, to tutors, to teachers, to whatever? We do the trade-offs, don't we, every Saturday night. If you get me the lottery win, I'll do so much good with this. It doesn't work, trust me. Well, all right, I'll rephrase that. So far, it hasn't worked. But we do. We're always giving away. And as Mark said there, that power is within us. It's been very interesting weekend talking with so many different people and so many different ranges. But one of the threads that was coming through was, oh, well, Spirit will do that for me. Oh, well, Spirit will make that happen for me. I'm very much of an opposite view of that. I always think my work with Spirit and everybody's work with Spirit is that partnership. We do not go in there in a passive energy and say, okay, do it for me. Wouldn't it be wonderful? Wouldn't it be great if we just said, Spirit, make me win the lottery. Spirit, develop my mediumship. Spirit, make me an artist. What would you learn? Where is the learning in that? Somebody tell me. Or is there? Speak. None. Thank you. Yes. See? Spirit made you do that.
This spirit.
This spirit. Exactly. There is no learning. We are here for this time. I am very much of the school of thought that we have elected to be here. And I can hear a lot of people going, well, I wouldn't have chosen this. What would you have chosen? By using the physical world as a measure, by using what we're told is what we need in our lives. So we need lots of money, we need the new car, we need 4 holidays a year, we need the perfect turkey teeth, we need, remember a waistline? I used to have one. I've now got 2, but anyway. But you know what? What we need is each other. What we need is to live in peace and harmony. What we need is the ability where we have differences of opinions. Do you know you are allowed to have a difference of opinion without shouting, screaming, hurling abuse, stomping off with your backside higher than the back of your head? You're actually allowed to have a difference of opinion and debate that and discuss that and come to an accord, even if that accord is, well, that's fine, that's for you at this time, but this is for me at that time, and we can carry on happily. We have all that within us. But we need to make that effort. These are the needs, not the wants. I want lots of things, but I know what I need. And when we embark on whatever path of our spirituality with the other world, bad news, you're not all going to be demonstrating mediums, getting up here working and giving out messages. All right, that is not in everybody's path. It is as simple as that. It is not detrimental to you, it is not a judgment of you, it is a simple matter of fact. Some people, if you brought them on the platform, would freeze. It's not their environment, it's not where they feel comfortable. But they're perfectly comfortable sitting and talking and being a counsellor, being a friend, being that listening ear. But we need to develop those skills with the spirit world. If, as in the case of art, we need to learn how to draw. This is as simple as that. If you're going to do something, you do it well, you excel. Because where you excel, so does the work of the spirit world. If we are going to be the demonstrating medium, we need to learn how to hold ourselves, what we can share, where we can go and where we cannot go. And the reason we're doing it. Not to look at me, but to say, there is no death. You know what? That is still the greatest truth to me. Because that simple phrase, if you give the time to examine it, to think about it, to understand the implications of just those few words, you have a lifetime of unfoldment. You have a lifetime of working with those, whether you realise them yet or not. It matters not, because they know you through and through. It allows that continual progression, that continual journey. And as was said earlier, our light shines with other lights, becomes one light. And that is where the spirit world would like us to go. That is what the spirit world offers us. I said to my team the other day, I said, do you never get really tired of saying the same message? You know, we have people come to our wherever and are having the same message week in, week out, every time they come in, the same message is given. And I said, do you never get tired of that? Do you never think, oh, I'm just wasting my time? And he said, no, because we give in love. And we will continue to give in love until one day that crack of light will appear. One day that door will slightly open. One day that conscious thought will pervade their very being and go, who's there? Who is there? Thank you.
Thank you, Lance.
Yes, please. We're now going to have our piece of music for the day. If you wish to sing along, please do. Lovely Heather will be taking the collection for the further work of this your church. Sue, could you bring me a newsletter up, please? Sorry, thank you. Really interesting. That was all put together a couple of days ago, and just that last line, do what you would do, and it's exactly the theme of the philosophy that's come totally independently from Mark and myself. It's wonderful, wonderful.
And I yesterday was talking about a lady in spiritualism called Vi Kipling, and Vi was had a lot of asthmatic problems, but she was a wonderful speaker and demonstrator. And she said to me once when we were chatting, she said, I'm starting to think churches are taking the mick out of me, because every time I go and do a service, they have that as their first song. And as an asthmatic, I don't know whether I should take it kindly. We talked about that yesterday, and Lawrence didn't know about that.
Yeah. But it just shows the beauty of the way that when you start to work with your awareness, you become aware of these things. There aren't coincidences. There is the synchronicity that flows. And it's that constant reassurance that at times like this, when we demonstrate our evidential mediumship, when we step forward with those memories, those connections, with those that we would give our very eye teeth to be back in contact with once more, are here. We're not talking discarnately, oh, they're telling me from afar. They're here. They are people. They are still here. They are in our lives. They watch over us. They walk with us. So during this time of the evidential mediumship, please be a part of this. Celebrate that joy. Celebrate that reunion. Not with too much information. If you start saying, oh yeah, she was a tank commander and a spy, you know, we're just going to sit down and you can come up and tell us the story. But a nice, clear yes, no, or not sure. All right? So it's a
Yes, no, not sure.
Maybe. Yeah. He said that.
Oh, they won't be here next week. Over to you, Mark.
That'll be next week's first message, I know. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you know how, most of you that will know how this works, but with mediumship, sometimes we know directly who we want to go to, sometimes we have information and it's up to you to put your hand up, but think of it like a ringing telephone. Don't sit on your hands thinking, I'll just wait a little longer, I'll just wait a little longer. If it makes sense to you, put your hand up, and even if more than one of you puts your hand up, we will always make sure the right person goes home with the right message. So you will talk to us and you will respond, won't you? Yes. Fabulous. I'm being drawn over here. I'm not sure whether I'm with Nikki or with Ian here, but I've got a lady that keeps drawing my attention over there. And this lady reminds me very much of my grandmother because I was made aware of her feet. And I've got these very nice shoes on, but I know that this lady suffered with swelling in the feet. And I know that literally to try and take these shoes off at the end of the day would not only have been very uncomfortable, but would have felt like pure bliss taking them off. Have we got with both of you? Nikki, do you understand as well? Yeah. We might have a double I have a reckon here because it kept bouncing between you when I was sat there. So I know that if I start working first of all with you, Nikki, with this, and this is mum, please, okay? Because I know here that as I have this, she's talking about how it wasn't just my feet that were a problem. Every little bit of me used to change and feel uncomfortable and to try and get me to sleep. You'd understand she'd fall asleep in a chair quite a lot because sometimes it was the only place I was comfortable to sit and to drift. But I know that as she's bringing in here, she's not wanting to focus too much on those health conditions, but I know that the heart is causing a lot of problems for her here. But I know that in life as well, she was an incredibly big-hearted woman. And I know that if we talk about enlargement of the heart physically as well, there was an issue. But I know here that your mum was the sort of woman who would give love to everyone. And if I say go beyond in the compassion and forgiveness. And sometimes you'd say to her, Mum, you're being too soft. Okay? And she said, but I can't help being who I am. That's me, and I'm never going to change. Because there's always hope, okay? And I know that she brings this in here, that she's making me very aware of wanting to put that love around you. I know you know that her love is there. I know that you're aware of her and you talk to her a lot. And several times a day at the moment. But I know that as she talks about this, by the way, she's saying yes, for those of you that can't see, she's saying it. But I know that she's wanting to say to you, forgiveness doesn't mean you have to think it's okay. Okay? Because she said, sometimes we're thinking, I can't let go. And she said, darling, you have to let go for your sake, not theirs. Okay? You know, your mum, especially when she was younger, had an incredibly hard life, and people that were, if I say in her words, quite wicked to her. And she said, but yet I couldn't carry that burden with me. I couldn't carry that burden with me. And so I know that this is where she had to learn not to let it take her down. Okay? So I know as well, please, were you sat with Mum when she passed?
Yes.
Because she's making me aware of that closeness. And although I'm not responding, I'm still hearing. Okay? Now, she's going to play on the heartstrings now to you. You made me a promise. I know you'll be true to your word. Okay? Did your mum have a heart locket, or is it you that has the heart locket? She had one, okay. She just makes me aware of it, because everything's about the heart here. Everything's about the heart. And I know as well, please, separate to what she said about the forgiveness, but she tells me about the importance, of getting to the heart of the matter and sorting these things out to your satisfaction. Once you've got a grip on whatever this is, she's not opening up, she's not... Your mum loved to chat to people about their lives, but if you told her a confidence, it would never go beyond her. So she's not telling me, she's saying it's none of your business. Okay? To me, not to you. She's not telling you, but she said, you'll get to the bottom of what this is. And then once you have, away, no more. Don't look back. And I know that there's a thing here with your... Would you understand that there was something about Mum and Dad, and your mum saying about not looking back and thinking about what people did and how they behaved, and that you just had to move on?
Yeah.
Okay? She brings memories of that there, about how sometimes we just put it in the past and we deal with now. Okay? I know we're going into June. I know we're only in May, but we're going into June where there is anniversaries here, please, as well. She takes me to about the 22nd, 23rd, around there. And she wants to also say to you that there are anniversaries on the earth as well. There's parties coming. Don't feel you can't go and you can't be in the midst of it, and don't feel you can't enjoy yourself. Okay?
Yep.
Because she knows that that's what she wants to bring you. So let me leave her undying love with you.
Thank you, Father.
Okay? And also, did she have When the Saints Go Marching In played at a funeral? Or do you know where that was played?
I do.
You know where it was played. That's fine, because it was just, I was hearing it in the background as I was moving. So let me leave her love with you and come on to it. Also, the Saints Go Marching In would have significance for you as well. But not so much as a funeral song, but as a chanting. Did you used to go to football or rugby matches, please?
Yeah.
Where people would chant in the buses or the cars going to and from the events? Because I get this feeling where mums and I think this is this mum as well for you with the feet? Okay, it is both mums. Because I get the feeling that although you're a strong man, you're very much mum's boy. Okay? And I am too. I'm still mum's baby at 49. This is my baby, and I'm like, 49, mum. But I know that there is this feeling from mum of being quite protective of you, even though you want to go out there and be in the midst of it all. Yeah. But I know that as she brings in this sort of this protection and this strength. And I have to say, although most people would know your mum was a strong lady or strong character, they wouldn't know how physically strong she could be if someone upset her, because she would wade in if somebody needed pulling out of an argument. Would you understand that? Because I just literally go, no, I'm not having that. And then literally out of this little lady comes this force that can lift someone off of someone else. And it's like, I'm not having any of that nonsense. But I know that she comes in here, she's bringing this love of, I know you have a lot of family, and I know there's a lot of people around you, but I've got this feeling of wanting to bring the strength around the whole family. And I know that she's telling me that you two are sorted now, everything is bad. But she's talking about the family and bringing support to the outer members of the family, the younger members that need a little strength where they feel like they're under the pressure of it all. You understand that? Because she said, I'm still watching and I'm still going to make sure they're all right. But I feel that she's talking about these outside influences that are putting pressure on them. And like we said in the philosophy, we can't always do much more for them than hold the space and not to feel, I don't know what to do. If in doubt, send out a prayer. There was a religious understanding with Mum.
Yeah.
Because she's saying prayer's a good thing. If you don't know what to do, say a prayer. I also feel, I know we've got the little picture of Jesus on the wall here, but did your mum have a small picture or a drawing that was of Jesus, please? Would you understand that?
Doesn't ring a bell.
Bear with me 1 second. Would you understand where is the houses that's like a row of 2 up, 2 down? It reminds me of where my grandparents lived in Blackpool, but where is there these red brick 2 up, 2 downs when I go back? Is that with Mum or is that with grandparents? So it's in that house I want to go, where I want to see this little picture of Jesus. Okay, got it? We got it there? Good. Because as we go there, I want to talk about the fact that, you know, faith got a lot of the family members through because they saw the worst of it. Okay?
Yeah.
And I know that there were periods of, with grandparents please, periods of prolonged ill health and prolonged inability to work. You understand that?
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily the inability to work, it was the work wasn't there at times as well. But I know that as they're talking about this, no matter what goes on, and this is where the religion comes in, the Lord will provide. Now, there we had that comment. Don't ask Spirit for everything. But I know that there is this support. And I know that when your grandfather talks about this, I know your grandfather isn't the religious one, it's grandmother. But when your grandfather's talking, he said, you will always find a way to do what you want and need to do.
Okay.
You've never been afraid of rolling up your sleeves and putting in the hard work, have you? And he said, no matter what's changing because of your work, just know you'll find the right way through it.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Would you understand who Mags is? Rather than saying Margaret, Mags. Yeah?
My mum's called Margaret.
Oh, well, there you go. Did someone used to call her Mags? Did that used to irritate her?
I think so.
Oh, okay. Because I'm just getting that feeling like at moments it's too familiar. Too familiar. Mum was quite formal at times.
She
Mum was
always
quite
marked.
formal. Yeah, but she's quite formal in the way that, not formal as in always formal in dress, formal in communication. And I know there must be written letters of Mum's here still, little notelets that have been folded up. Possibly. Can you go and have a look?
I will.
And I feel that there's a yellow little piece of notelet paper which has got a border with a flower, and there's something significant that's written on there. Will you go and have a little look for me?
I will.
And I know that there is the, oh, that's taken us back, there is the fragrance of Parma violets. Okay? She brings that. So let me leave her love and her affection, Mum's for both of you.
Thank you.
But just know, whatever's going on, they've got your back.
Thank you.
Laurie, over to you.
Thank you, Mark.
Tag, you're it.
Yeah. Nikki, Ian, I want to come to you. I've got mothers with you. Do you know what? Mediums working together is such a joy. And it's such a joy because you want each one to aspire and do their best, and it's wonderful when that works. So send it out to me now.
We're in the
Sorry.
power.
There we are. I do have a lady stepping forward here. I do feel with this lady that I am a sister to a lady here in the church today. And she's just gone quiet, so that's always really helpful. But that actually does tell me a lot about this lady. This sister, she had a lot of reservations in her life. I'm not explaining that to its fullest. There were situations in her life where she would just stop and would not engage. There were people around her that... Where is this? There is a certain element of shyness and nervousness with this lady, which wasn't apparent on the exterior, because I do feel on the exterior I had a presence, but the actual core energy was of an unsuredness, and when that was challenged, it would make her almost freeze. It would make her just stop and be a little bit like the rabbit in the headlights. So it's very interesting because I've got this outward personality of being there and being, you know, quite able and functioning with everybody. But the minute that energy within her was struck, she would just stop and freeze. Who would understand this, please, as a sister? Don't scratch your nose, you'll get a message. Nobody so far? It's not a contest, love. Would you understand that with one of the sisters? Thank you for saying that you've got the three, but I've got this very different persona. If you met her, you would have one impression of her, but if you got to know her, you would have a different impression of her. You not understand that? Give me something you will understand. Where does the name of June link in as well, please? Okay. But is June here or there? She's there. And would you understand it? And she's an in-law, did you say? Not like a sister-in-law, is it? Oh, well,
That'll be a sister.
okay, so we're going to have to spell all this out. I need a whiteboard for the rest of this message. So you would understand that June is stepping forward. Would you understand this as well about her character as well? She's able to put a front on, but there was a coyness there, a shyness, and okay. She didn't have a lot of confidence in her abilities. This was a confidence issue with her. That she would step forward, she would be this one person in public, but the confidence, and if the confidence was shaken, she would, okay, thank you, sorry June, I misheard you. Now, I know you from coming here to the church, and I've even questioned this because she has brought this around you as well, where your confidence has been shaken. Now, to see, that's so fascinating because me as a person, I know you, and quite frankly, you scare me at times. So, but that's great because she's just highlighting this as well. All right, well, fair enough. But yeah, she's just highlighting. I'm going to treat you so differently next week. Well, she's just highlighting this with you as well, and she's just saying. But there is a particular thing at the moment you're engaging with. There is a particular thing, and I know when she's not showing me exactly what it is yet, but I know when I engage with it, I know I've got to be quite formal. I've got to have a very clear head, and I've got to do this methodically to get it sorted. I feel this is a situation that's been knocking around for a while, and it's had its time now. It's had its time. This is what she's saying. It's had its time. Yeah, she said it's had its time. You need to get that energy go to make you move forward. Mark here was talking about Blackpool, but Blackpool has just gone around you in lights here. Oh, that's interesting. You know the rock, stick of rock? The way, and it's just how that's brought in there as well. she's laughing now. She's got that out of the way. She's here for, because she had a good time as well, this lady. She would like a good time. Yes. Yeah. You're saying that hesitantly, but she would like a good time. She would like to let her head down. She would like to see the happiness. But this confidence issue with her was actually, if you review her life, you can see the instances where this came up and just caused her a problem. She says, well, it doesn't matter. She's just gone like that. That doesn't matter now. That doesn't matter. You're all that matters to me, and I'm here. So I'm keeping a watchful eye on you. She's going like that. So I'm just keeping a watchful eye on you. But there's a lot of love in that. Yeah, there's a lot of... Yeah, you can call on this lady and she will sit with you anytime, just for the joy of sitting with you. Yeah. All right? Tell me, please, I don't like going back into the evidence, but again, similarities with the funeral. Did you do a reading or write something? Did you not put a card in, but you put sentiments? No. Okay. Maybe we go. No, we'll go on to the next one. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for taking June. What are we doing now?
Do you want to do a double?
Do a double?
Do a double?
Yeah.
It says kick
Yeah.
off. Yeah. Keep being drawn over to the back of the room here, and I kept hearing a gentleman calling out the name of Arthur. And I know with this man, when he was here on the earth, that if I've got to be tactful about how I put this. This gentleman had an opinion on everything, but I don't want to describe him as opinionated when someone becomes sort of like too much in your face. So if you had a conversation on almost any aspect of life, he'd have an opinion, but it wasn't that his opinion had to be the only opinion in the room. So like when we said, we can agree to disagree on things. And I know with this gentleman that it's almost like he devours a daily paper. You know, some people only go to certain parts of the paper. He almost reads everything because he wants to know everything that's going on everywhere. And I keep hearing also I want to say wireless, so that's how far back we're going, connecting to like the world news and things like that, you know, the old BBC World News. So who would understand that with a gentleman in the spirit world? And the name of Arthur connecting in somewhere around that. Right at the back, pull away. So, you understand the personality, you understand the nature, the devouring the paper, wireless on. I almost don't care for the TV a bit. So TV might have been played a part in the household, but really, I'd rather be listening to my wireless. And I even know there must be a memory of him even having, can you remember the little pocket transistor radios? And I feel I've got that hung up in a nail, either in a shed or in a bit of a working area, because I'm even listening to my radio then. Okay, good.
Yeah, well done. Oh, as we're linking in here with the same gentleman, it's just brought very much to my mind that wonderful film, Days of Our Lives, of this family in South London growing up and the war years and everything. It's a beautiful, beautiful film. But I know in that film as well there is one, as all families have their story, there was a very tragic passing of a lady as well. And this was a very quick passing. This was not through an illness, this was through accident or... This could even be related to the war conditions, but I know this lady's life was cut short and she's got a strong connection with this gentleman. Do you understand that, please? You're not sure about it. Remember, you get a £5 for every yes. Tell me, please, this location of the South London area here. That is correct with him, yeah? And also, again, this film actually is just so poignant, and so, you know, and he's using the own memories of this film to paint this picture. Tell me, please, where he lived would be in that classical design of all the back gardens backing onto each other.
Yes, I would say yes.
Yeah. So, and it was designed that way to give everybody that sense of nature. When they all went out in their back garden, here, your back garden backed onto the back garden of somebody else on the other side, so you could have that expanse. And please, here, I want to be going to the back garden of my back garden, because there was a very strong sense of community around there. Do you understand that? And I do understand that there was this passing, and it was something this wasn't through bombing, because I've just been shown, so this wasn't through bombing, but this was what we would call a tragic accident. But with this gentleman, he started to look into religion a little bit. He went quieter because of this passing. Would you remember with him memories of him just slightly changing, not being quite so forward and brash at times, but just actually withdrawing a wee bit? Okay. But he's talking about this. He said, you know, this life was... He's got a wonderful way of talking, actually, because he said his life was snuffed out and I couldn't understand it. And I wanted to understand it. There is a religious understanding with him through schooling, but he said it made me think much more about the world, much more about things. And when Mark was saying about the papers here, I know the papers would have been devoured, because at that time I'm being drawn to the things going on in Aden and that era, so that generation. And he was just fascinated. He said, how did we end up hating each other? Do you know what? This gentleman is a really nice philosopher. This is wonderful philosophy from him. He said, how did we end up hating each other? With the family, he became much more open to family because I feel around him were either his brothers or brothers to each other, and there was a little bit of troubled water going on there, and he worked hard to sort of like dispel that. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Yeah. And there was money given as well, freely, not to buy people off. He said, I didn't have a lot, but he said, but I helped them out.
Yes, yes, I would say yes.
Yeah, yeah.
You'd also understand where there would be connections, and I think we were talking about where the family and friendships are. There should be either Dorry or Doreen and Ethel. Now, Ethel I don't think is family. I think Ethel is in this group of neighbours. Ethel.
Not sure about that.
Okay, but I think if you understand where the Doreen is, that's more connected to family.
Dorothy.
People might short that to Dorry. Okay.
Pauline, come out and
Yeah.
fill us in. Will you?
But I know that as Lawrence was talking here, and that again, when he was saying about that, how have we come to hate each other? I know that I know Lawrence talked about the family that was there at the time and situations that went on. But I also know I got that feeling as he spoke about that of situations with people here, not necessarily the closest of people, but this feeling of separation and wanting to work or to try and do our best to understand why these things occurred, but also to realise that sometimes these situations as they occur, it's the natural process in life. We can do everything we can to bring it back together, but once it's out, sometimes it never goes back in. And I know that he wants to reassure you, because for all this sort of this wonderful mind of his to sort of say, we can change things or we can do things, there is sometimes a grace in acceptance. And I feel here that sometimes with him, when he was challenged, he would go to bravado to deal with things. And I know there is a feeling of that there with you as well, like chip off the old block really here. But I know that he said it hides that deeper emotion within things. And he said, I've seen when you've been in quiet moments like I did, I'd take myself off, I'd go and sculpt down the shed and have a moment. And he said, I've seen you. I've seen you. And he says that not to embarrass you, but to make you realise it's okay. It's okay to have moments where we don't feel the greatest or the best, but to know that we always move through and beyond it. Okay? Now, I know that there'd be a memory with having an old Bluebird toffee tin in the house, which kept the special things that we need to keep hold of. Okay? Because I know that as they're talking about this, they're talking about the special papers, things that we're going through now. We're having to find documents we haven't seen for quite a while. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
And he's saying if they'd all been in the Bluebird tin, you'd have found them, but they're not. They're scattered here, they're scattered there, they're in this pocket here, they're in that box up the top of there. He said they all need to come together where we've got them so that we can always go back. And I don't think it's necessarily Pauline that hasn't left them in the right place.
Although she will be blamed.
Although she will be but I know that they just bring in that. And I know that obviously the Bluebird toffees were a thing in the family. It was like, you know, the Christmas present. But I know that they're bringing that. He also talks about the sweetness of life. And I know when he talks about that, he often makes reference to your mum. The sweetness in life. And she was my sweet.
Yeah.
Is that all right?
No,
That's
you,
it, we're gonna
you
leave it.
picked every...
So we'll leave Dad's love and affection. And I know Mum's there as well, but it's like today's Father's Day. Right?
Yeah.
Today's Father's Day. So I'm giving that to you. With his great love and affection.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of telling you here, I love you. All right? I'll leave that with you. Thank
Very
you.
quickly, just as he's stepping back here, we've got an issue with the foot with him as well. I'm just seeing, you remember the old thick bandages we would have done? Gout.
Ulcers. What?
Where was the gout? But you would understand a gentleman with gout. Okay. And this gentleman, I've just got this feel, he's got a teaching ability about him as well, this gentleman. And he's just, oh yeah, he's just me, hello, I'm here, I'm here. Thank you. Lovely.
Super.
Thank you.
Lauren. Bless you.
Wonderful. Just a few messages. No, we've done that.
No, we've done that. But a
Notices.
few messages. There could be messages.
Few notices for this week. We have this Wednesday our Open Development Circle. That's at 7 o'clock, and each month we pick on a different aspect of our mediumship. So we will have a little bit of theory, quick tune in, and then work with that aspect of mediumship. This month we are working with clairaudience, which is clear hearing, understanding how that works, which is very important. So that's Wednesday at 7 o'clock. Saturday, 1:30 to 3:30. We had wonderful Sarah Deverell here a little while back, and she was talking, and we're going to try something a little bit different. We're going to have what we call the living room. Now this is for people on their spiritual journey. You know what it's like, don't you? And I'm sure everybody can relate to this. You're all here today and you feel really quite happy and comfortable talking to each other in the church because you're talking on this level. You're talking in your spirit. You're not being father, mother, brother, sister, whatever. You're being you. You're expressing you to those around you and people we meet. So we're just going to try a little series of drop-ins, basically, where people can just be in the atmosphere of the church, talk about their spiritual life. Please, this is not a chance to promote your business. That will not be tolerated, all right? But you can talk about your spiritual life, your progression, where you are, because sometimes we just get hang-ups where we are. And it's very difficult. Who here can talk at home about their spiritual life to their partners and friends? 1, 2, 3. Not a lot. Yeah, not a lot. A lot of people, we don't have that ability. So we're just going to try something. So that's this Saturday between 1:30 and 3:30. Sunday we have a change of medium. The medium hasn't been confirmed yet. So any mediums watching us online, if your phone rings tomorrow, next Sunday is Mothering Sunday, and our next healing evening is.
It's not Mother, is it? No, we've gone past Mother's Day. That was the 9th of March.
This is the bloody American calendars then.
Yeah, it's an American calendar.
It's Mothering Sunday
So
in
for everyone
America.
in US, happy Mothering Sunday next week.
For our American friends.
For our American
friends.
family online, we love you. Seriously, computers are brilliant unless you're in the hands of idiots. So next Sunday, which is just another Sunday, just keep your eyes. Yeah, you be careful. You might end up working. All right. We will have a medium. Our next healing night is not tomorrow, so it's a week tomorrow, and that's at 7:15. Big thank you and warm welcome to those new people that are joining us on their healing journey. It's such a delight to be able to facilitate that environment where you can journey and explore. We also have the rally at the end of this month. It's suddenly here. We have 4 full days of different events, all interactive. We've got an evening demonstration with Jack and Lola from Denmark, Frederick Haglund.
Oh.
Yeah, spell correct there. Frederick Haglund. Ewan Irvin and Mark Stone. Yes. We have an evening demonstration of trance mediumship with the lovely Mark. We've got a couple of workshops going on, private sittings. And of course, on the Sunday, we will have the divine service taken by all those people who are here for the weekend. It will be an earlier start, and if I can get up at 4:30 in the morning, you can be here for 10 in the morning, all right? I accept no excuses. And then during the day will be the rally itself, where they'll all be giving talks, question and answer. Really good fun weekend, all right? Full list is available on the website and in all the social media advertising we're doing. Yeah, come along. This is your chance to explore and learn. Don't lose it. Seriously, don't lose it. So, yeah, I'll shut up now and ask Mark for the closing break.
Hearts and minds in prayer. Gracious and divine Spirit, we thank you for this morning that we have shared together. We thank you for this time not only of inspiration and of healing, but also of communication with the other world, to show and prove to us ultimately that life is eternal and that these bonds of love continue to unite us from this world to the next. And we ask that this love, this healing, this power, this friendship of like minds that has lifted us, that has made our spirit shine that little bit brighter, that we take it with us out into the world and share that light with others. Let us be the transformation in the world. Let us be a source of love and inspiration for others in whatever way that happens, in whatever way that we can share our heart, our compassion, our knowing and our knowledge. So as always, we thank you with such joy and gratitude in our hearts for all this, for all that is, and for all that is yet to come. Amen.
Amen. Mark, it's been pure delight working with you
Today.
Yes, and it's even going to be a better delight to get these shoes off, eat something, and just collapse. Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here. Thank you, everybody, joining us online as well. Have a wonderful day. Come on, the sun shines in us. Make that happen. All right. Thank you all.
Bless you. Thank you, Mark. That's gorgeous.
I was going to let you get away with the name.
Get in there as well. Why not?
No, I'm going to throw it.
I'm going to have a fight. Could make it a menthol.
It was Echoes just standing and said, well, thank you, Kim. And I thought, right, come on, name.
Well, it was so funny because I was sitting Arthur.